This week I've been driving the Mitsubishi ASX ES, which is the baby SUV from the Mitsubishi stable. It looks great and it has the dimensions that will make it your best friend in the city, but it does have some strong competition from other compact SUVs, like the Kia Seltos, Suzuki Vitara and the MG ZS. In this video, I'll be seeing how the ASX holds its own and what it gets right. Stay watching. There are 6 models for the ASX, and ours is the second from the bottom ES grade, which will cost you $27,990 before on-road costs. That makes it one of the more affordable options compared to its rivals, but the MG still has a beat. Let's see what sort of features you get for that price tag. Being at the lower end of the grades does mean that the specifications for this are on the slim side, but you'll still enjoy an 8-inch touchscreen multimedia system, fabric trims, as well as wide Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get full LED lights on the exterior. The full specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you want more info. I love how this looks. It has a wide stance and enough squared edges that it doesn't look too cute, but its size will appeal to urban dwellers where space is at a premium. There are a few items that add some personality to this car, like the panels at the front that has the quad LED lights and the way the lights at the rear jut out. I also like the 18-inch alloy wheels, and to add further flair, you do have quite a few colourful options on the paintwork, like our red diamond on the test model. The cabin reflects that this is a base type model with the analog instrument panel and the traditional gear shifter and handbrake, but I've sort of fallen in like with how old school it is in here. The fabric trims feature a cool lattice-like pattern on them, which is nice, and the dashboard is very easy to navigate with the buttons and dials. It's a no-nonsense cabin, but I think that will appeal to drivers who don't want to be overwhelmed by their car. There's plenty of room up front, and with a passenger beside me, I don't feel like I'm knocking elbows with them either. It's a very easy car to get in and out of as well, with the 205mm ground clearance and wide door apertures. The front seats are comfortable and well padded and both adjust manually, but I did miss having adjustable lumbar support this week for my longer trips. The fabric trims look nice, and I really like that this comes with carpet mats as well. Individual storage options are good with a deep middle console and glove box, plus 2 cup holders, and in the doors you also get 2 drink bottle holders. I also like that you get a cute little cubby up front, which is the perfect size to fit an iPhone. The charging options are okay with 2 USB-A ports and a 12-volt port to choose from. I like how easy the multimedia system was to navigate, but it can be sometimes hard to see while you're on the go. It tends to catch the light a lot. The wide Apple CarPlay was very easy to connect to, and I didn't even mind having a trailing cable this week. The steering wheel is a good size, but it does feel basic with the synthetic leather wrap. It kind of feels like vinyl, but I do like that it has mounted controls for the audio and cruise control. I have an okay amount of room in this back seat, but I did notice that the door apertures back here aren't as wide as the front, which made it a little bit harder for my son to get in and out with his giant school bag this week. I also don't feel like the back seat is as comfortable as the front, just because you feel like you're sort of perched on top of them. So I would expect a few oomph from your passengers when going around corners. As you might expect for this grade level, the amenities are quite basic back here, but you will still enjoy a single mat pocket and 2 cup holders. I would have preferred to have seen some sort of charging option, and my son did miss having directional air vents this week with the hot days we've been having. I had plenty of room to fit my son's Monster booster seat this week, and families will be very happy that there are 2 ISOFIX child seat mounts on the outboard seats plus 3 top tethers. 2 seats will fit best though. The boot is a good size at 393 litres. You get a temporary spare tyre underneath the floor, and I like that it has a level load space. It doesn't have a powered tailgate, but it's not a heavy lid to operate. The ES has a 2-litre 4-cylinder MyVec petrol engine. It's a 2-wheel drive and has a continuously variable transmission. It has a max power output of 110 kilowatts and 197 newton meters of torque. For For manual enthusiasts, you can option a manual transmission on the base GS model, but this has been perfectly adequate for my runabouts in town this week. I feel like I've gotten back to the basics with this car, and it did take me quite a few drives to get used to the traditional elements and not putting my car keys in the cup holder, because I kept on forgetting that you actually need them to turn this one on. And if at any point during this video you hear the dulcet tones of my keys jingling, that's why. This is a little bit underpowered, but it does have enough punch that if you do need to get out onto the open road, you can. And it is very solidly placed on the road. It feels sure of itself in corners, which is great, but the steering is quite loose, so you do have to make bigger adjustments, but you get used to that pretty quickly. The suspension is adequate when you're on the smooth stuff, but you're gonna know about it if you hit anything bumpy. Other than that, ride comfort is okay, but the road noise does creep up a lot in this. I found this to be pretty easy to park because of its size and the fact that it has a 10.6 meter turning circle, but the reversing camera is really blurry, and I did miss having front parking sensors this week. The official combined fuel cycle is 7.7 litres per 100 kilometres. My real world usage came to 8.6 litres. I do a lot of open road driving, so this isn't as economical as what I was hoping it to be, and I would expect that figure to be much higher in the city. The ASX ES has some safety features, but not a lot of them, and it's probably easier for me to show you what it doesn't have to highlight how basic the safety package is. It's missing rear cross traffic alert, lane departure aids, lane keeping aids, as well as autonomous emergency braking, which is a real biggie for me. Models made after January 2023 are currently unrated with ANCAP, but the previous model did achieve a maximum 5-star ANCAP safety rating back in 2014. It has 7 airbags, including a driver's knee airbag, and it looks like its rivals do have a lot more safety features than this. This is probably more on par with the Suzuki Vitara S model. The full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you want more info. The ASX comes with the well-known Mitsubishi Diamond Advantage, which means that you're going to enjoy up to 10 years or 200,000 kilometers, whichever occurs first, warranty on this, which is better than anything else on the market right now. If you get your ASX serviced at a Mitsubishi dealership, you'll also enjoy a 10-year cap price servicing program. What? I know. Even though the services do average on the little bit more expensive side for this class at $502, those extra years are a real bonus. Servicing intervals are also very reasonable at every 12 months or 15,000 kilometers, whichever occurs first. The Mitsubishi ASX ES is a compact SUV which surprisingly fits its occupants in relative comfort. It's got a great boot size and enough up front for a driver to be satisfied for everyday use. Its size does make it perfect for city dwelling, and its ongoing costs are fantastic, but it's lacking a lot of safety features for me, so this gets a 6.75 out of 10. If you're after more details, check out the full review at carsguide.com.au, and I'll see you next week.